All the senior officers present here, I welcome you. Sir, it is indeed a great honor and privilege to receive the indefatigable Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, MPM, MNI at the FCT Command on the Special Assessment Tour as a result of wanton violent lootings and vandalization of public and private properties across the Federal Capital Territory. I must state that your visit to the command during this hour of trial for the Nigerian Police Force and FCT Command in particular is apt and will go a long way in boosting the morale of the officers and men of the FCT Command. Sir, it is no news that the infamous NSAS movement, which commenced on the 11th of October at the Unity Fountain, eventually resulted into violent agitations which festered other criminal activities within the last 2 weeks in the FCT. As a result of this, the command recorded 16 major incidences resulting from the violent clashes which erupted at the Bega roundabout, Aku, Kapusa roundabout, Kubwa, Dus Al-Haji, and some other places. This was followed by a high wave of looting and vandalization of public infrastructures, warehouses, and other private properties at Kubwa, Gwagwalada, Jabit, IGP, Ido, and Uye. This series of events led to the tragic loss of about 10 lives, several persons with various degrees of injuries. Some vehicles and properties set ablaze, while others were vandalized. The most devastating of these activities was the malicious burning of Dutse Makaranta police outpost. During the period under review, the command has arrested and arraigned 196 suspects in court for different offenses that bordered on this looting and raiding of public properties. Out of the 196 arraigned, 10 have been convicted. 1 was discharged. 73 suspects were granted bail, while 112 are remanded in prison custody. Undeterred by the recent happenings, the command has remained resolute in the discharge of its fundamental responsibility of protecting lives and property of the FCT residents. However, the command has challenges of operational vehicles, shortage of riot equipment, and manpower. I humbly request the Inspector General of Police in his magnanimity to oblige the command additional operational vehicles, manpower, riot equipment to boost operational capacity of the command. At this juncture, sir, on behalf of the officers and men of the FCT command, I want to express my profound gratitude for your unwavering support towards the command in all ramifications. Nevertheless, like Oliver Twist, I humbly appeal for your continued support towards the command. Once again, sir, I want to immensely appreciate your coming to the command at this critical moment. Your visit will indeed revamp the dampened spirit of officers and men of the FCT command and spur them to discharge their duties in better manner. Thank you very much, sir. God bless.
The FCT and your management team, other senior officers here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today not in the normal familiarization tour I'm here today to commiserate with you, the officers and men of FCT Command. Within these few days, or some weeks, 2 weeks or 3 weeks back, I've seen how you went out to deal with very, very serious and difficult situation in trying to maintain peace, law, and order in FCT. This happened as a result of the NSAS protest, which from the beginning, it was supposed to be peaceful protest, but as it went on, the protest went violent. It caused a lot of inconveniences to the other members of the public. Some roads were blocked. Some vehicles were burnt. Police stations in some parts of the country, including FCT, were burnt. Police officers were assaulted. The protest started as peaceful protests, but at the course of the protest, I knew how you went about to protect the protesters so that they will not be molested. But at the course of the protest turned violent. Violent not only on other members of the public, but also against police officers. We've seen where police stations were attacked. Individuals, property that belongs to individuals were attacked. Vehicles were destroyed. These are criminal activities that the protesters wanted to provoke you so that you use maximum force against them and for them to achieve another aim of justifying police brutality. When they didn't see that, they went into violence. But because of your resilience, because of your professionalism, you are able to show maximum restraint. You are able to meet up to the standard that is required in quelling protests by not using your firearms. And that has led to exposure of the way Nigerian police officers, especially those in FCT, are professionally trained to deal with unrest in the country. So I wish to thank you for that resilience. I wish to thank you for showing that restraint. And everybody, including the international community, have seen that you've acted professionally. The aim was to demoralize you. The aim was to dehumanize you so that you will not be able to perform your duties. But you are not provoked to that extent. Despite the attacks, despite the molestation on some of you in persons, you still came out to perform your duties as is required of you. So we thank you most sincerely for this. Those officers that lost their lives all over the country, they will not die in vain. Because adequate compensation has been planned for them in an extensive manner to show that they serve their country to the extent of losing their lives. And every Nigerian will be proud to say that at the cost of serving his own country, he lost his life. The federal government has vowed to make sure that from now onward, the police is reformed in all segments of the force, whether it is in area of logistics, on the area of welfare to individual officers or to our barracks. It is for that reason that the federal government, for the past 10 years, the government of this country has been trying to come up with an intervention in terms of police trust fund where money can be found to take care of police needs. It is only this government that was able to see to light the passage into law of police trust fund. So all our barracks will be taken care of. All our logistic requirements in terms of vehicles, in terms of accoutrement, in terms of medicals, all segments of what is required of police officers to have for them to perform their duties, the fund will take care of that. Not only that, within the new Police Act that has been passed into law, there are a lot of provisions that take care of the welfare of police officers. It is not administrative way or administrative procedure to take care of the officers, but it is now legal that those welfare requirements must be given. And it is this government that passed into law that Police Act 2020. We are always thinking of retirement. What do you have? What do we think of when we retire? This administration, this government has taken care of our health requirement in terms of retirement. When we retire, we are also to benefit from the National Health Insurance Scheme. So a lot of our retirees have already keyed into that, so we wouldn't be afraid when we retire. How can we use the little money we have for our retirement to take care of our health? The government has taken care of that. And there are many other reforms that are ongoing. After leaving here, I'm going to address all the commissioners of police through virtual conference this afternoon. And we're going to take stock of some of the challenges that we notice as a result of this protest, so that we address them. We don't allow it to happen again. So we are here today to tell you that the government is concerned with what happened, and the government is behind all of us. The federal government is behind all of us. You remember the speech Mr. President gave, where he said not all police officers are bad, only few that are there that are bad, and that they have to be reformed, and that the federal government is fully behind the police, and that the federal government will never accept any police officer to lose his life. That the unity of this country lies on the support that is given to police officers. Because if you lose or if you are demoralized, the tendency is for criminals to take over the public space. And the country is relying on us to make sure that the public space is not taken care, it's not taken over by the criminals. So no amount of provocation, no amount of insult will make us to shy away from our responsibilities, in as much as we are aware that government is behind us. So we'll encourage you to continue performing your duties. We'll encourage you to be professional in performing your duties. We'll encourage you to be civic. But if anybody touches you, if anybody comes to assault you, you can also protect yourselves. When we talk of human rights, the police are human. So the rights of police officers will also be protected. So we are sending the message that legally we have the right to protect ourselves. But while we are doing that, we'll make sure that until we are in danger, okay? So from now onward, we are going to bring out to the public the package that the government has put in place for those officers that lost their lives at the course of this protest. We are going to bring out the package on how to take care of the police stations and police installations that were damaged. So I wish you once again, thank you for being professional, and thank you for defending the country, and we encourage you to do more. Thank you.